Greetings. My heart is palpitating. I remember when I was really pretty young, like maybe even elementary school. I went to a K through 6 elementary school, and then junior high was 7, 8, 9, and then high school was 10, 11, 12. So it was a little different than some places. But I remember, okay, this will all come out eventually, I suppose, but I'm gonna have some tea. Boom. Hello, Irish breakfast. No slurping. So I remember when I was a little kid, I was always really afraid to go to school. And I don't know how I figured this out, but I used to hold my breath to try to calm my heartbeat down. Like, oh, it makes me sad now to think about me when I was so little, and having complete and total and absolute fucking panic attacks when I was a little teeny little girl. Anyway, I like to send myself Reiki to the past. I'm not a Reiki master. Someday I will be, but I'm not now. I have second level. I've audited 2 classes, first level and second level, a few times, so I don't know. Blah blah. I like to send Reiki to myself in the past, sometimes when I'm in the womb, because I know that. Anyway, I'm not going to go into my life story today, all right? I'm not. I obviously I can jabber on and on and on, which perhaps that's why Source has been fucking telling me to make these videos. I'm not mad. Okay, I'm not. I mean, it's fine. It's fun. It's hard to start. It's hard to like sit here and push play because I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So I don't know if I'll ever have an audience. I get the feeling that I will. I get the feeling that people will listen, but right now I feel like I'm talking to an empty room. Not really. I really don't see it like that. I don't see like myself talking to nobody. I feel like I'm talking to you. Whoever you are. I do. I feel like I am. I feel like there's a reason and a purpose to this, so I'm just going to keep doing it. If I didn't think that, I wouldn't be doing this. Plus, it was month after month after month after month. So, of hearing that in my, like the little nudges that you get. I don't know if you know those, but hopefully you do. Once you start to meditate every day for 20 minutes, you'll totally start hearing everything that you think, all the little nudgings, all the little messages that come from your inner being, from Source. You'll hear it, especially when you're meditating. That's when you hear. Yeah, it's true. I've been anxious since I was a little girl. I remember trying to get dressed, and I still do this to this day. Trying to get dressed to go to school was sometimes it was just like I would be completely and totally making a mountain of clothes on the floor, like putting stuff on, going like, no, I can't wear this. Like, I shed a lot of clothes, I guess. It wasn't like a tall mountain, but it was tough. It was tough to get ready for school because I would never knew. It's not like I was bullied. I wasn't bullied, but I wasn't popular. I was a weirdo. And I didn't think I was a weirdo. That's the thing. I thought that I was normal. I I thought that by putting on a certain outfit and putting on a certain like vibe that I could be perceived as normal. So that was tough. And I even, to this day, my good friend who I'm hanging out with a lot during this thing, she's 85. She happens to be my Reiki teacher. We never really hung out over the past 10 years or more, but we've been friends that long. Yeah, we never hung out until lockdown, and now we hang out and we talk a lot. And she called me a weirdo the other day, and I was just kind of like, God. And I didn't say that at the time. I was just like, oh. And then a little bit later, we talked about it, and she told me that she and her friends back in the day, like in the 70s, that's when. Okay, she has been into alternative spirituality since the 70s. She was like one of the pioneers of it, I would say. I've never written a book or anything, but anyway, she told me that she and her friends were proud of being weirdos, and I don't know. I'm not proud of being a weirdo, but I did learn that the definition of weird is supernatural, so that felt okay. I've been coming into my own sort of supernatural abilities over the past few years. It all started back when my daughter gave me MySpace for Christmas one year. She taught me how to be on the computer, and since then, that was probably back in, let's see, probably like 2005 or 6 or 7, I don't know. It was before 2012, but I suddenly like fell in love with light then, and love. Like it became my attraction point, like anything that was about light and love, especially light, like chandeliers and candles and all those kinds of things, pictures of those things. I feel like that was when I started to wake up to certain things, to a certain way of being, to a certain way of seeing the world. And, it's slow going. There's no fast track. There isn't, but the past almost 500 days that I've been meditating almost every day. No, 500 days that I've been meditating every day for 20 minutes or some other amount of time. Like sometimes if I'm sick, I'll meditate less, or if I'm, it's not 20 minutes every single solitary day, but it's at least 10 minutes every day. Probably it's probably 20 minutes 9 out of 10 or 9.5 out of 10 days. Sometimes, and this is one of my favorite things that's happening right now. It's sometimes it's like, how when it snows, it's like it just comes down and covers everything, and everything gets quiet. It's like a cloak. It's sometimes I feel like a cloak of silence comes down on me, and I don't know, like maybe it's this music, which is, if you haven't listened to this music before, it's so great. It's Eric Satie, amazing music. But anyway, like I'll just get really quiet, my body, my mind, everything. My heartbeat slows down, and it's nice. It's nice because most of us, this is such an interesting thing. Most of us are always living in a state of fight or flight. Like that's why a lot of people can't sleep, and why a lot of people take drugs, and we're all so afraid. We're all so afraid. And I've learned some techniques. Now, I practice seated meditation, but there's also a thing called Shavasana, which if you lie on the floor for 20 minutes a day, like just completely and totally still, with music, like soft music, every single day, excuse me, you can actually switch it off. It's your excuse me, my gosh, your parasympathetic, I'm gonna get the hiccups maybe, no, I can't. Your parasympathetic music. Okay, the sympathetic nervous system is fight or flight. Parasympathetic nervous system is not fight or flight. So if you lie on the floor for 20 minutes every day, quietly, still, without moving your body, you can turn it off and switch it over to parasympathetic. You can get the sympathetic nervous system to sort of turn off. And there's another thing called Yoga Nidra, which I want to learn how to do. I want to learn how to teach it so I can teach it on here. So you would lie down really comfortably, all super cozy, and then I would guide you, a mental guided thing. Anyway, there's lots of things that I want to learn, but for now I'm just talking about meditation and about my life and about whatever pops into my head. So something kind of cool happened on Insight Timer, which is the meditation app that I use. Insight Timer it's cool. I mean, I only use it for the timer part and to keep track of my meditation, but on it there are plenty of things there's yoga on there now, there's meditation, there's guided meditation. A lot of it's free. And then if you pay a certain amount every month, you can access everything, which are courses and workshops and all kinds of stuff like that. So why was I talking about that? I guess I wanted to read just to say that Insight today is like it's already 14 minutes. This time just flies. Okay, I'm not going to keep going too much longer. Insight Timer, I love it. It keeps track of my meditation, how many days I meditate. It keeps me honest. Keeps me meditating. So I like it a lot. And I even think there's sounds on there. Like I was talking about yesterday, if you listen to a sound like a river running or a air conditioner, or there's all kinds of sounds you can get on sound apps to just focus your mind on. When you focus your mind on a sound, then you can go down, 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 down. When your mind is occupied. This is Eric Satie again. Okay, should I stop? Everyone has days like this, especially lately. I think people are having really rough days lately. There's so much going on in the world. This is the deal. There's always been so much going on in the world, but now we can see it. Now we know. Now it's all coming out. More tea, more tea. You know? So you must use your discernment, which is a practice as well, to find out, okay, is this true? Is this false? Is this a lie? What is this, you know? So those of us who grew up, most of us grew up, you know, like in chaotic environments. The world becoming unveiled is a very major trigger for many of us. And I find that my meditation practice, I thank God that I started meditating, you know, not almost 2 years, but a long time ago, almost 500 days ago. I thank God. If I hadn't, I would be freaking out. So I do my best to only watch a little bit of stuff on YouTube. You know, I just keep myself informed about what's going on, but I think going within is the best policy right now, the best plan of action. Just one little meditation a day, 1 20-minute thing first thing in the morning. Just sit there, just do it. Promise, it's gonna be great. All right, I'm gonna go. I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day and night. I'd like to encourage you to breathe nice and deep today. That's what I'm going to be doing. Might even hold my breath. Okay, so yeah, I used to hold my breath when I was a kid. Like, until my heart would just pound and pound, and then I'd let it go, and my heart would just sort of like whoosh, then I would calm down. It was amazing, and it still works. I still sometimes do it. I don't usually get as wound up as I used to get, but I know many people suffer from anxiety and from PTSD and from fear. You know, it's fear. And why are you afraid? That's a good question. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Whose thoughts are they? That's another good question. Who's thinking? Who is thinking is the best question. I love that question. Who is the one who's thinking, and who are you? And who's watching you? Who's the observer? Are you the observer? It's so fun to find out. It's a beautiful world. It is. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful world. Focus on beauty. Focus on your heartbeat. Focus on your breath. Focus on going inside your heart. See inside your heart. See that there's a door. See that there's a door to your heart, and you can open it, and you can go in. And once you go in, you're safe. That's home base. That's what they mean by the center, is your heart. So stay there, live from there, operate your vehicle from there. You know, just open the door, go in. You're gonna get kicked out by your thoughts, so it's a practice as well. I need to practice that more, because once you get in there, then suddenly all of the stuff that you were afraid of before, whoopsie, 20 minutes, all the stuff that you were afraid of before suddenly just goes because you're in the presence of love. It's a good job. Good job. Thank you. Thank you for being on planet Earth at the same time with me. I send you so much love. I send you so much admiration. And I send you so much peace. Namaste.